Hey gang, this is Brody for RadToyReview. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about Threezero's brand new collectible, the massive Stryder Titan and pilot from Titanfall. If you already have or have seen Threezero's previous release Atlas, then you should have a really good idea of what to expect from Threezero here. Once again, you can see that Threezero did this great job with the weathering and the paint details. The metal looks like metal, or the plastic looks like metal, I should say. It's very realistic. Just looks fantastic. One thing I love about these particular robot designs is that they're basically 100% original throughout. Unlike regular 1/6 human figures or other robot collectibles that share similar features, the Titanfall bots are head to toe completely unique to each other. Just the ridiculous amount of details go into these guys. From an engineering standpoint alone, you can't help but be impressed. Stryder has some cool lighting features. A button on the back cycles between red and blue to fit your preference. Moving on to articulation. He has a fairly stiff hip joint, which is good since he's relatively top heavy. He's got a double bending, not sure what to call it, knee joint, and the ankles rotate around nicely on a ball joint. His legs really do offer a nice range of motion, and while lanky, he stands pretty securely. And just because I know I'll be asked, I'll go ahead and say it, he can't quite crouch low enough to do the Titan drop pose from the game. Atlas couldn't do it either, but now you know. His arms also have quite a few points of articulation. A nice shoulder joint that clicks and rotates around in just about all directions. He's got a swivel at the bicep and elbow, and as you can see here, a ball joint at the wrist with a little metal handle flap thing. And of course, his fingers are all articulated as well. Unless you bend him at the hip joints, he doesn't really move too much forward and back. However, he will rotate like a champ left and right, all while having these cool little pistons around his midsections compress and release with the movements. It's pretty cool stuff. On his back, you have his thrusters, which rotate in two different points, and further down on his back, there are two little moving pieces that you can also mess around with. His shoulder rocket cover flips open and swings to his side, while the turn on his other shoulder rotates left and right and up and down. One of the coolest things about Stryder is that he comes with a Plasma Railgun, and it's just massive. As you can see, it's basically the same size of my forearm. I love this thing. It also has this little rotating and removable ammo drum that you can pop in and out if you like. Now, sadly, one of my favorite things about this set is also my main one issue with it. The gun weighs a ton, and it's a lot more than this figure can really hold securely. That happened a lot more than once. Let's talk about the pilot for a minute. The same level of detail and care went into this guy as it did with Stryder. The mixed threads, tailoring, and the fantastic details on the various armor plates with the removable backpack. It's just really nice looking figure, and even though his armor restricts some of his articulation, the pilot is truly an impressive, highly posable 6-inch figure. Now, a Titan pilot has to be able to pilot right, so while I usually keep the pilots on display outside of their bots, it's still an important feature. You can do it. It's a bit of a tight squeeze getting him in the cockpit, but it is a little easier than it was for Atlas. So first you got to remove the backpack and rifle, and then you squish him up into as tight of a sitting position as possible. After some finessing, he fits right in, even if he looks incredibly uncomfortable. I've been a huge fan of Titanfall since it came out, and the exciting designs of the robots and pilots are some of the coolest I've seen in years. Threezero knocked it out of the park with Atlas, and to this day, that's one of my favorite collectibles ever. And they came really close to mirroring that success with Stryder. I love just about everything about these figures, from their design to their articulation and details. However, I do have to take off a couple of points for just how heavy the railgun is. Stryder is a pretty sturdy bot for having such thin articulated limbs, but the weight of the gun is almost as heavy as the bot itself. He can definitely hold it, and you can get some cool poses with it, but it's just not something I'd recommend you keep him posed hoisting it up for long periods of time. Other than that, it's awesome. At the time of this review, Stryder is available at threezerostore.com and will be available through your favorite online high-end collectible shops as well. And that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Please take a minute to subscribe and comment, as well as check out some of our other reviews around here on YouTube. Swing by RadToyReview.com for a more detailed review, as well as a ton of others. Thanks again for watching RadToyReview. I hope you all enjoyed it. Be well, take care, and I'll see you all soon.